Hello everybody and welcome to this what if discussion I have in store for everybody in my anime discussions. And the reason why I'm bringing up this what if is because I've been wanting to make one for a while, and I've been trying to think of what kind of what ifs could I really make. I've seen people do what ifs on Dragon Ball, I've seen what ifs on other topics, so I've decided to do a what if on Pokemon, and I'm very curious to see how you guys like this one. And this one is going to be called, and if you guys want to see more parts to this, you guys can let me know. And this video is going to be called, What If May Took on the Gym Challenge? Now, for those who haven't seen the Pokemon anime, in the Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire sagas, which is called Pokemon Advanced, Advanced Challenge, and Advanced Battle, Ash meets a young girl named May, and she originally starts out as a contest. She originally starts out as a person who will be looking to take on the gym challenge, but eventually she changes to contests, because gym battling wasn't her style. Because gym battles wasn't her style. She didn't really prefer it, because she didn't want to follow the same path as her father, because her father, Norman, is a gym leader. But what if May decided to take down the path of her father and actually take the gym challenge alongside Ash? Now, some of you may be thinking, am I going to make changes to May's team or whatever? Now here's the thing, I have seen what if videos of people do of Pokemon. There was one channel I remember watching about maybe a year ago, where he did a what if story on Ash winning certain leagues, and he basically rewrote everything by completely changing Ash's team and all that stuff. Like, he changed Ash's team, and all that stuff. Like, he completely changed Ash's team, other than Pikachu. You'd always keep Pikachu, but every other Pokemon would just be completely changed and something completely different. I guess the thing is that he wanted to make it completely different to the canon of the actual canon from the Pokemon anime. But I am going to be using May's anime canon team. But some of you may be thinking, but Patrick, May's anime canon team is based around contests. Like, she would stand no chance against the gym leaders with the current team, with the team she ends up using. So let's run through May's team in the main anime. She ends up starting with her starter Torchic, which is a fire type, which obviously has a massive disadvantage against Roxanne, the first gym leader. Then she gets a Wurmple that eventually becomes a Beautifly. She eventually captures a Skitty, which is a normal type. And then after that, she kind of sticks with those three majority throughout the main anime. Like, she kind of sticks with them as like the main three Pokemon. And then eventually she would get a baby Eevee. Like, I think it hatches out of an egg, I think. I can't remember how she gets an Eevee. I remember she gets an Eevee. I think it was hatched out of an egg. And she also gets a Munchlax. And when they return back to Kanto, when Ash does the Battle Frontier, she ends up getting a female Bulbasaur, because it had a love heart on its head, and a Squirtle, which rounds up to 7 Pokemon overall on her team. Now, because this is the main anime, she's not going to obviously not have Bulbasaur and Squirtle until the Battle Frontier saga. So that basically means she'll be stuck with possibly every Pokemon up until maybe she gets the Munchlax. So I can probably see why people would change. I can see why people would change their anime canon teams to fit more to the description of what they want, but however, I am going to try and make this work. I am going to try and give you guys a decent little what-if story if May went along with her main canon anime team and tried her luck as a gym leader. So, we begin our what-if at Rustboro City. Ash and May arrive at Rustboro City. They saw a Pokemon contest. Sure, May liked what she saw, but she's sticking to her path on becoming a gym leader. Her brother Max is encouraging her to be as good as their father and make their father proud, while Ash, being Ash, encourages her even more, which kind of boosts May's ego a little bit. Though I love May, she did have a bit of an ego, which, you know, I guess every character needs to have a flaw in their, every character needs a flaw in their character, I guess. So when the gym battle when the gym day comes, Ash takes his turn first. Ash will take his turn first, and Ash will be victorious. He'll be victorious due to his Pikachu knowing Iron Tail, because his Pikachu would have learned Iron Tail through one of the contest guys that had a ferret that knew Iron Tail. So though they may not care too much about contests, they did go see them to see what they were like, and Ash did meet up with the trainer, with the ferret that had Iron Tail, so Pikachu was able to learn the move. However, Ash's Trico does not have a grass type move, so that becomes a big problem. But Ash in the end does win, and May is so inspired by Ash's performance that she thinks she can do the same. She can overwhelm and overcome the odds even while being in a disadvantage. She did catch one Pokemon along the way, and that was a little Wormhole. And this becomes a big major problem because she only has one Pokemon. And Roxanne tells her that she cannot take the gym battle with her until she gets a second Pokemon. So May just goes out into the wild, finds a Wormhole, satisfied, just catches it, and shows it to Ash and friends. Max, being her younger brother, freaks out, telling her, "What are you doing? Why are you catching a bug type? Bug types are weak to rock types. You had two Pokemon that are now completely weak to rock." And then May just acts cool about it. She's like, "It's fine, Max. We saw Ash beat two rock types while having a grass type that had no grass type moves and a Pikachu that knew Iron Tail. It'll be fine. It'll be just fine." And so when May takes her turn at the gym, let's just say she gets completely squashed pretty quickly. She gets destroyed immediately. She gets destroyed in a matter of seconds, and Roxanne is very, very disappointed in her. Very disappointed in her, and said that she was by far the weakest challenger she's ever had, and tells her that she needs to start learning more about match typings. This obviously shatters May's ego. This will obviously shatter May's ego, because she thought she could do the same thing that Ash did, was able to overcome the odds even while being at a disadvantage. And so she's all sad, sitting at a chair, moping and crying about it, being all upset and all that stuff. Ash and the others are trying to motivate her to make her feel better. Ash thinks maybe he could help train her up. Ash thinks he could train her up a bit. So he challenges her to a 2v2. He uses his Trico and his Mudkip against her two Pokemon. So during the battle, Wormhole becomes a Silcoon. May thinks something like a Silcoon that knows Harden could be worth having, could be worth it because it can use Harden to raise its defenses. But even though it may have its strong defenses, it's not going to last long against rock types. So they continue training, and then the Wormhole gets to level 10. That's the usual level it evolves, just like Caterpie and Metapod would. It becomes a Beautifly. She's now happy. She now thinks, great, maybe now I have a good chance. But Max shatters her by telling her, now you're 4 times weak to rock, because Beautifly is a flying type, which does annoy her a little bit. Her Torchic is obviously very, very far behind on levels, and it does level up and casually learn Fire-type moves as it goes along, like Ember, and also Peck, but it's still chugging along pretty far behind. And the only way, and this is where Max and the others realize, there's only one way for May to win. That is to evolve her Torchic into a Combustion. They have to keep training Torchic to get it to the appropriate level for it to evolve into a Combustion, because when it evolves into Combustion, it'll learn the fighting type move Double Kick. And that'll also make it a fighting type, because it'll now become part fighting type, and fighting types are super effective against rocks. So May spends several days training out in the wild to try and get her Torchic to level up faster. They do encounter a Skitty, which May catches, because she finds it cute, just like in the original anime, and just catches it. She does think about maybe including it into her battle against Roxanne, because having a normal type could be interesting, and the Skitty also knew the move Assist, which it could do any move from her party. And this is where another interesting thing also happens. May realizes her Skitty has a tail. She then turns to Ash and says, "Hey Ash, do you think your Pikachu could teach my Skitty Iron Tail? It could be a huge advantage in my gym battle." Ash agrees. Ash agrees to let her Skitty learn Iron Tail. But just like in the main anime, Skitty's not really into fighting. It just spends more time running around in a circle trying to chase its tail. And May is trying to stop it from being a bit disobedient. So yeah, we're gonna have a Pokemon that is a bit disobedient, because that's what it was like in the main canon, where it was a bit disobedient. I mean, like, it would listen to her, but it would, very often just chase its own tail, and chase its own tail. So after several attempts of trying to get it to listen to her, it does start beginning Iron Tail attempts, which obviously isn't going nowhere. Skitty is not a quick learner like Pikachu was. May is starting to stress, thinking that it's not gonna be enough time. She has an entire week to do another battle, and she's basically been spending the last 4 to 5 days just training her Pokemon up. She's now realizing how stressful it is to do these gym challenges, and then she almost feels like calling it quits. Ash comforts her. It's just the two of them by themselves, as Max and Brock are just going for a walk, maybe to give May a bit more of an advantage, maybe just go looking for something. May is at the Pokemon Center, just purring and humming and just really sad about how everything's been going. Like, sure, they've been working hard, they've been training hard, but she's very, very afraid that all this training isn't going to pay off, and she really starts thinking about just calling it quits on trying to do gym battles. This is where Ash sits down and comforts her. Ash sits down and comforts her and says to her, "Listen, May, when I battled Brock for the first time, I had a flying type and I had my Pikachu. I didn't know type advantages either. Like, you're not the only one. I had trouble understanding type advantages as well." And then May's like, "Yeah, but you were able to beat a rock type with a steel type and electric type Pokemon. You had the advantage because you had a steel type move. I don't have any advantages." And then Ash tells her, "Yeah, but that's why we gotta level up your Torchic. Make sure it's a fighting type before we get to your next gym battle. Because I tell ya, fighting types are gonna be very effective. Yes, I didn't learn my lesson after I lost to Brock the first time. I went right back in and challenged him again after several days. After several days, I didn't catch any new Pokemon. I just went back in there, and I just got lucky. I just got lucky against Brock, and I was able to beat him. So don't think for 1 second that I am this master, that I'm really good at Pokemon battling. I'm not. I struggled like you are right now. I was struggling to understand Pokemon and type advantages just like you are right now. But trust me, you will get better as you go along. You will get better as you go along. Just do not give up. May listens to what Ash has to say, nods her head and agrees, and the two of them go back outside to continue the training sessions to get Torchic to level up. But unfortunately, it was too late. They were getting close to the deadline and they needed to go to the gym battle. So unfortunately, Torchic is going to have a massive disadvantage, and May is stressed. She is so stressed. She is contemplating not using Torchic. She's contemplating not using Torchic, but Roxanne informs her that this will be her last chance. Now, I don't know if gym leaders ever give out. Like, I know, you will lose a gym battle and then you get a rematch. But I don't know if gym leaders will actually say, hey, look, if you lose again, that's it. You're not going to get another chance at my gym. So I'm going to create a rule saying that the gym leaders will say, at a certain point, they will not take the same challenges about maybe 2, 3, or 4 times. Because having the same challenger continuously come back, it's not like the Pokemon games. It's not like the Pokemon games where you can just keep challenging them over and over until you win. In the main anime, I feel like it would be completely different in the main anime, where Roxanne will tell May, if you lose again, that's it. You will not be able to challenge my gym, and your chances of going to the Pokemon League are pretty much over. May understands, and she's willing to risk it all. So, does she choose to use her Torchic? Yes, she does. However, she does not choose to use Skitty. She uses the same 2 Pokemon that she battled against Roxanne with the first time. She sends out Beautyfly at the start, but Roxanne sends out Geodude. Roxanne does praise the fact that she's evolved her Pokemon, but it's clear that she still hasn't learned anything from type advantages. So this is where I'm going to be making a big major change. This is where I'm going to be making some changes. Though her team may be may be the same from the anime, I am going to bend the rules just a little bit. I will not be changing her team, but I'll be changing the certain moves that Pokemon can learn. Now, I don't know if Beautyfly can learn this move via TM normally, but I am going to say during May's training with Beautyfly, Beautyfly eventually learns the Steel-type move, Steel Wing, as a substitute for Skitty not being able to learn Iron Tail because it was very disobedient and it just couldn't learn it in the matter of time she was given. So her Beautyfly eventually just learns Steel Wing one day, and this is the move that catches Roxanne off guard, and Geodude does take some heavy damage. Roxanne praises May for raising her Pokemon well and now finally learning type advantages, but she's not going to make it easy for her. Roxanne's Geodude starts using Rock Tomb, but Beautyfly, being fast and with its wings, is able to dodge and weave out of the way of the rocks. Beautyfly comes back again with another Steel Wing, ultimately defeating the Geodude after taking 2 hits. And now out comes the Nose Pass. This is where May starts to sweat and get a little bit concerned. She was happy to get past the Geodude, but this is where she thinks things are going to get tougher. The Steel Wings do damage to Nose Pass, but not too much damage. But after a while, Nose Pass is able to capture the butt of Beautyfly and able to take it out with a powerful Rock Tomb. And this is where May's heart begins to pound like crazy, because she knows this is it. Her chances of going to the Pokemon League are over. So she pulls out her Pokeball, looks at Torchic inside, and then throws it out. Torchic comes out, seeing it staring at a giant hunk of rock. Roxanne begins to laugh. Oh, you haven't evolved your starter yet. Oh man, this is going to be too easy. But Torchic has surprisingly gotten a bit faster. Though its Pecks and Embers are not doing much damage, however, they get a lucky burn. They get a lucky burn on Nose Pass, which over time it will slowly take damage. So this could be good. This is going to help May. All she has to do is stall this Nose Pass out long enough. She'll stall it out long enough as much as she can. So she's panicking, telling Torchic to continue dodging. Dodge. Just keep dodging all of its moves. Wear it out with burn damage. Keep pecking, keep embering, and the slower the damage. Ash, Max, and Brock are watching on the bleachers, and they are excited, seeing May actually taking advantage and learning from the battle styles that Ash was helping her learn throughout their days of battling together. But Nosepass is able to capture Torchic and able to smash it with another Rock Tomb. May has almost given up hope. She sees her Torchic get crushed by all these rocks. She goes on her knees, thinking the fight is over. But then, out of the rock, light begins to glow, and then the rocks just erupt, and out comes Torchic, evolved into a Combusken, evolving in mid-battle, having its determination to not lose this battle for May. Torchic became so determined to not lose, it was able to evolve. May is sprung up back to her feet, knowing she now has a chance. This is her chance. She tells Combusken to use Double Kick, and it does heavy damage. It does a lot of damage to the Nosepass. Nosepass is starting to weave and starting to lose its balance. The burn is starting to overwhelm it. Roxanne gets desperate. Tells her Nosepass to use Zap Cannon. And this move hits Combusken really hard, and Combusken is now paralyzed, and now both Pokemon are in a bad way. Max is so concerned for his sister that he thinks that even after all of this that she could still lose. But this is where Combusken's ability activates. Blaze. Again, it becomes so determined to win, it doesn't want to lose for May. Blaze activates, and now it's got more power. After much back and forth, Combusken nails one final double kick, and is able to take out the Nosepass, and is the last Pokemon standing, and May gets announced as the winner, and May is celebrating, jumping up and down, very happy that she was able to overcome such incredible odds. With all of her Pokemon weak to rock, she was able to do the one thing that Ash was able to do. Overcome the odds while having a massive disadvantage. And Ash is ultimately proud of her, that she's already come a long way so quickly in her battling career. Roxanne prevents May with the badge. She celebrates with it. She calls her father and mother to show them that she got her first badge. While Norman is happy and proud of her, and he hopes that they will have a tremendous battle themselves when they eventually meet. But May doesn't want to praise herself. She says, I have Ash to thank for all of this. He helped train me. He helped me understand Pokemon battling so much better. Training with him for the last few days to prep me for the gym battles was great. He is the reason why I was able to win. But Ash then shrugs the praise off. It's like, no, it wasn't just me. You were able to do it yourself. I didn't help you win the gym battle. Your Combusken just didn't want to lose. Your Combusken didn't want to let you down. It was your Combusken's sheer determination not to lose. is why you were able to win. And then the episode ends with Ash and May both leaving Prospero City with their respective badges as they move forward to Duford Town and the second gym. So that will be it for this one, guys. I actually hope you guys really liked this. If you guys want to see more of this particular what if, be sure to let me know down below. And I will see you all in the next video.